Assalamu alaikum. Hello students of class 9 business studies. I hope you are doing well. This is Mohammad Mohiuddin Sarkar, lecturer in chemistry, English medium morning shift, Rajaguttra Model College. I have made a lecture on subject science, chapter 2, chapter name Water for Life. Now I am going to talk about the remaining part of chapter 2. Now let's start. First of all, water quality parameter. There are different parameters to measure the quality of water. They are color and taste, turbidity, presence of waste, presence of radioactive substance, temperature, and DO, where DO means dissolved oxygen, which stands for DO. So the first term, color and taste. Pure water is colorless and odorless. If any water contains color, then we have to say this is impure water. But pure water has no color and no odor. Turbidity. Turbid water could be harmful to aquatic flora and fauna. We know flora means the plants of a particular region. On the other hand, fauna means the whole animals on a particular region. So turbid water could be harmful to aquatic flora and fauna because it hinders the penetration of sunlight, resulting in reduced photosynthesis of aquatic plants. We know photosynthesis is the important process for plants. The aquatic plants is hampered and oxygen production by photosynthesis decreases as well. So the presence of radioactive substance. The presence of radioactive substances in the water of rivers and canals can cause dangerous disease like cancer in aquatic biota. Again, the presence of radioactive substances in the water of rivers and canals can cause dangerous disease like cancer in aquatic biota. So what is dissolved oxygen? Dissolved oxygen is a measure of how much oxygen is dissolved in the water. Again, dissolved oxygen is a measure of how much oxygen is dissolved in the water. It is one of the most important indicators of water quality. So, we can determine the quality of water by determining the dissolved oxygen. And we can say dissolved oxygen indicates how much oxygen is dissolved in the water. It is essential for the survival of fish and other aquatic organisms. Now, salinity. We know Hilsha is a sea fish. It contains huge amount of salt because it lives in seawater. So it contains huge amount of salt which sterilizes fish eggs. Now the pH of water. So what is pH? The negative logarithm of the concentration of hydrogen ion is called pH. pH stands the power of hydrogen. So you know water contains hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion. So the negative logarithm of the concentration of hydrogen ion is called pH. We can identify different substance like either it acidic or basic by the measuring of its pH. So we can say pH equal minus log concentration of proton. So you know H plus is also called proton and the third bracket denotes the concentration. So pH is the negative logarithm of the concentration of hydrogen ion. If the value of pH is greater than 7, we can say it is basic, and if it will less than 7, then it will be acidic, and if the pH equals 7, then we can say it will be neutral. We know pure water is neutral and its pH is 7. Recycling of water and role of water in conservation of environment. So we know 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water. 75% of the earth's surface is covered with water. Most of the water is saline, and that is why they cannot be utilized directly for different purposes. Only 1% of water resources we have as fresh, and the major portion of it is available in rivers. Rivers, lakes, etc. Water is being recycled naturally. Water from surfaces evaporates at daytime with help of sunlight. So this is the recycling process of water. Again, we can say 75% of the earth's surface is covered with water. Most of the water is saline, and that's why they cannot be utilized directly for different purposes. Only 1% of water resources we have as fresh, and the major portion of it is available in rivers and lakes, etc. Water is being recycled naturally. So it is a natural process. Water from surfaces evaporates at daytime with help of sunlight and enters into the atmosphere as vapor, which goes upwards and at a stage condense into cloud and finally come back as a rainwater. So this is the cyclic process of water. Role of water in conservation of nature. So what's the role of water on conservation of nature? All the components and process of the environment depend on water, directly or indirectly. So we can say that all components that are exist which are directly or indirectly depends on the water. If there were no water, plant would not grow. There will be no food production and our existence. The whole environment will be destroyed. So we can say without water, the environment will be. So purification of water. So we can purify water by using different methods. So methods of purification of water depend on the purpose of using water. So we know we can purify water by different methods, and which method will be applied depends on the purposes. So methods of purification of water: filtration method, chlorination method, boiling method, distillation method. So we see there are 4 methods that can be applied for purifying water. So first of all, filtration. The process to separate solid substances from a mixture of solid and liquid substances are called filtration. So if we consider a mixture, and in this mixture water and solid substance are mixed together, and if we purify water and if we want to separate water from solid substances, we can apply filtration method. In this method, filter paper or finely woven cloths can be used where the solid substances traps in the paper and liquid substances pass through it. So we know the particle size of solid substances are bigger than the particle size of liquid substances. So in this method, we have to use a filter paper or finely woven cloths. So in this filter paper or finely woven clothes, there are a pore, and the solid substances traps in the pore in the filter paper, and the liquid substances will be passed through the paper or finely woven clothes. So by this process we can separate solid substances from liquid substances like water. So we can purify water by this method. Now the chlorination method. In this method, chlorine gas is used as disinfectants that kill the microorganisms present in water. So disinfectants is the thing that can kill the microorganism present in water, and that will be harmful for us. So bleaching powder is also used for chlorination method. So in this method, the disinfectants is chlorine. So if bleaching powder reacts with water, it will produce calcium hydroxide and hypochlorous acid. HOCl is the hypochlorous acid, and CaOH whole 2. This is calcium hydroxide. And the chemical name of bleaching powder is calcium chlorohypochlorite. So we can also use sodium hypochlorite for purify water, and it is vastly used in Bangladesh during flood. So another method is boiling method. Boiling of water can kill germs present in water. After starting the boiling, heating for additional 15 to 20 minutes can disinfect water completely. So all germs that are present in water can be destroyed or killed by this method within 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. So we can say this method is also used for purifying water. This is the more popular method in Bangladesh. So another method is distillation. When very pure water is needed, water is purified by distillation. So if the water is needed that will be very pure, on the time we have to use distillation method. In this method, 2 container is used. In one container, impure water is used and heat is applied on this container, and we know the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So if we apply heat on this container, it will boil at 100 degrees Celsius, and we have to use a condenser with 2 containers. So at 100 degrees Celsius, the vapor is goes up from the impure water and it will be collected from another container, and we will get the pure water by this method. So effects of water pollution on plants, animals and human beings. So we know there are many diseases that are called waterborne disease, because these diseases happen for water, like typhoid, cholera, dysentery, hepatitis B. So many diseases are occurred for special types of substances, like for mercury, brain damage, skin cancer and deformation are happen for mercury. For lead, dizziness, eye irritation, anemia, kidney damage, etc. will be happen for the presence of lead in the water. Arsenic. The presence of arsenic on water, arsenicosis, cancer in skin and lungs, gastrointestinal disease are happen for the presence of arsenic in water. So what is global warming? The gradual heating of Earth's surface, oceans and atmosphere is caused by human activity, primarily the burning of fossil fuels that pump carbon dioxide, methane, and other greenhouse gases. So we can say global warming is happened for the presence of greenhouse gases mainly. There are some greenhouse gases we can see. They are water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, oxygen. The molecular formula of ozone is O3. So it will not oxygen, it's ozone, O3, and N2O. This is the nitrous oxide. And the alternative name of nitrous oxide is laughing gas. So you can say the laughing gas is N2O, I mean nitrous oxide. The main causes of global warming is the increasing of carbon dioxide. Also, strategy for preventing water pollution and responsibility of citizens. So we have to take different steps for the preventing water pollution, and we have to must responsible for it. Like protection of wetlands, utilization of rainwater, increase in public awareness, prevention of water pollution by industries, prevention of water pollution due to soil erosion from agricultural land. So role of water in the development work. We know our country is an agricultural country. Development of our country is impossible without the development of agriculture. So a country's development depends on agricultural. The main reason we are living in an agricultural country. So our development depends on agriculture. So directly agriculture depends on water, and water is required for irrigation. In agriculture, like development of our country is not possible without water. So if we want to develop our country, we have to preserve water. So what are the threats at water sources in Bangladesh? Due to flood and soil erosion, river enrichment, flood control embankments, unplanned waste management, diversion of water flow, water is fundamental right, conservation and development of water sources. There are many conventions that are established on the basis of water. So one is Ramsar Convention. So UNESCO organized an international meeting on 2nd February 1971 in Ramsar, Iran, and the decisions taken there regarding wetlands are known as Ramsar Convention. Again, Iran take the decisions that regarding wetlands are known as Ramsar Convention. Bangladesh signed the convention in 1973. So what is Helsinki Rule? The International Law Association in 1966 in their 52nd meeting in Helsinki accepted a committee report on the use of water of international rivers. It is known as Helsinki Rule. So my dear students, if you have any query, you can write below the comment box. I will try to give your answer. That's all. Thank you.